All right, YouTube Live. Sorry about that. I had to delete the previous video because it says episode 2. I was like, no, 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 no. I had my brain all wired up wrong. I think I need some coffee. But we're actually talking about episode 3. Okay, so it's like, let's redo this again. Okay, mulligan and action. All right. Good morning, everybody. I just watched DC Universe Live Action Titans Season 1, Episode 3, not 2, but 3, titled Origins. And this video contains spoilers, okay? This review is mostly for those of you who also have been following this show as well. Okay, so last week we saw Hawk and Dove and Dick Grayson fighting off that weird, creepy family up on the roof in Washington, D.C. in order to protect Raven, aka Rachel Roth. And it ended with Dove getting thrown off the building, and then Dove landed, hurt herself, and I was like, no, 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 don't kill off Dove. I love Minka Kelly. She's fucking hot, man. She's super, super sexy. It's like, I want to see her throughout the season. And it's not cool just to have Hawk. It has to be Hawk and Dove. So, good news. At the beginning of this episode 3, well, I don't know if I would say good news, like jubilant, joyous good news, but it's a good thing that at least we know that Dove survived the fall. So Dove is right now in the hospital. I think she might be, I don't know, maybe she has some internal injuries. So maybe she's even in a coma. But Hawk is by her side, and so Dick Grayson says to Hawk, like, "Hey, just take care of her. Leave this to me. I'll find that creepy ass family." Now, before I move forward, that's a good news, right? That's good. That's a bit of a good news. At least Dove lives. But the episode 3, or titled Origins, kind of moves away from Hawk and Dove and deals mostly with Dick Grayson, Raven, and Starfire, and a bit of that, what's left of that creepy family. But before I move forward, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? I knew it. I knew this season 1, which contains 13 episodes total, would mostly deal, or the big season arc story is about how to deal with Raven. The Raven's mystery. Because Raven is the daughter of a demon, Trigon, and as I mentioned to you in the comic books, there's always this concern that if she gets possessed by her father's evil energy inside her, then she becomes evil Raven, and that might summon the demon or Trigon, and might even bring on the apocalypse. Episode 3 obviously shows indications of that. All right, episode 3 kind of shows, like, okay, so this is where they're going with this. So this is the direction that they're headed. Even though it's titled Origins, it doesn't really. I don't know if Origins is the right title for this episode, though, because I was watching it, and it's like, yeah, it shows some flashbacks of Bruce Wayne. I'm sorry, not Bruce Wayne, Dick Grayson, the younger Dick Grayson. And then we also see the convent, this Catholic convent that Raven, when she was a baby or she was a kid, used to grow up in. So that's a little bit of an origin, but we don't get to see the origin of Starfire. All right, we don't get to see the origin of Hawk and Dove. So, and the origin only goes so far. We don't see Trigon or any of the real backstory. So I guess you could call it probably semi-origins, not necessarily origins. Generally everybody gets to have gets to share their backstory. I mean, Starfire still doesn't know who she is. She still has that "dude, where's my car?" the Hangover arc going on here. So yeah, that's a little bit of a criticism that I have about this episode, the title itself. might be a bit misleading. As far as the Dick Grayson, younger Dick Grayson, we see the flashback of him spending time in the Wayne Manor, and he. I keep messing she and he. I keep thinking of Raven. I need some sleep. He steals the Porsche. He gets in trouble. He starts running away from the beginning. Dude, I get it. He's an angry kid. That's what teenagers are. They're angry, and finding out that maybe the parents or his parents may have been murdered instead of it being an accident, that would cause even more anger on his part. Um, One note that I have here on my note, it cracks me up that Bruce Wayne only shows up like you only see his back, or you only see his silhouette up in the distance. I'm like, I get it. I totally get it. Okay, I totally get it. Bruce Wayne is supposed to be this towering, shadowy figure that doesn't speak. Because if he starts to speak or if he starts to show his face, then that would be the big news on the web. Like, oh my God, who did they cast? Who is this actor that they just cast as Bruce Wayne? Because, it's such an iconic role. But yeah, it just cracks me up because it happens so frequently during episode 3 where something happens to Dick Grayson, right? And then the camera pans out, and then you see, then you see Bruce Wayne's back, or Bruce Wayne's hair, or Bruce Wayne at the door. But you even see like a painting of Bruce Wayne and his parents, but you can't really figure out their faces. It's really funny. It's funny the effort that this show goes, or the distance, the lengths that this show goes to, in order to kind of blur Bruce Wayne for you. It's a little funny side note here. Okay, let's move on to my next notes here. The family, the creepy family, the villains. I love them. I told you in the previous review episode, I freaking love them. They're like, I don't know, they're like people from the 1950s, Stepford wives, sort of robotic, like, hello dear, hello husband. And we see there a little bit of their origin, right? Not necessarily origin per se, but at least who they answer to. We see their boss, and that's when it clicks. What I told you earlier, that it is some kind of a belief or some kind of a cult, with the understanding that if we get Raven, we can unleash this demon, we can unleash this hell that will cleanse this earth of its sins. So it's a bit ideological, the drive that motivates this person that the family answers to. The head of the family, the father, gets burned by Starfire, and it was so awesome. By the way, Starfire also has a fight scene in the diner. At first, I thought she was just gonna burn that place down. I was like, okay, this is it. A bunch of thugs trying to mess with her having breakfast, and she's just gonna burn them to crisp. But no, she fights them off. I find that surprising. I figured for her would be like, with a snap of a finger, everybody would just get burned and that's it. But she actually takes time to fight, and that says something about her. I respect that. And probably she does that out of, because she likes the waitress. Maybe, who knows. Another note that I have is that about Starfire, the actress who plays her, I think her name is Anna Diop. Man, I feel for her, man. I feel for her because, don't get me wrong, she looks amazing, right? She looks amazing in that outfit, the magenta hair, and that Lady of the Night outfit. She looks so cool. That pleather, so sexy and hot. But imagine if you're an actor and you have to wear that every single day. Like that's not your alter ego costume, That's not your costume as a superhero. That's your costume, your character's costume too. So the continuity of it, I kind of feel for her. Like she has to put on the eyes as well. I think of all the characters here in the in Titan series, she's like the one that has the most elaborate, to put on, as far as costumes go, and hair and makeup, and that can be quite a hassle on the actor's part. So I feel for her, but still, though, she looks amazing. Beast Boy, see, I was trying to figure out how they would inject Beast Boy's story into Titans. They kind of tease us at the end of last week's episode, at the end of it, and in here in episode 3, we only see him. Did I say her? I'm sorry, him. I don't know why. I need some coffee, man. It's too early in the morning. So we saw him at the end of last week's episode, morphing into an animal, or morphing from an animal to him, and we see him in this episode 3 playing pinball with Raven, and it seems that he's kind of apart, still set apart from Raven, Dick Grayson, and Starfire's story. I feel like at this point, I feel like the writers, I don't know about subsequent episodes. I haven't seen episode 4 yet, but I feel like the writers still trying to figure out how to bring him in to the fold, how to involve him with Raven's story. Because right now I can see it. Like, it seems like he's kind of apart. He's just doing his thing. Like there's no stakes for him in that little story arc that Raven and Dick Grayson and Starfire share. So I that's probably one of my questions. One of my questions coming into episode 4. Come on now, you can't just have Beast Boy just be showing up for a few seconds here and there. Involve him, include him somehow. But we don't know right now how that would work out. So that's that's one of my notes here that I have. So in conclusion, I like how the story is progressing. I'm glad the story progresses not in a slow way. Now we even know that the nuns in the convent, even they know exactly. I mean, we can figure it out, right? It doesn't take a genius to figure out that they know who Raven's dad is. So they're so scared, they're terrified. They have to lock her up in the basement, and then it ends with Raven embracing her evil side, and that's when you see her bursting out of the school. So I like that. I like how this episode is not a filler episode, and I hope that the show doesn't have filler episodes, because when they go flashbacks with Bruce Wayne, at first I thought, oh my goodness, we are in for a filler episode here. It's gonna be really slow, but no, actually, Dick Grayson and Starfire. I'm trying to piece the names together. I'm sorry, guys. It's still morning here. I need coffee. Starfire and Dick Grayson, the way they piece the clues together, it's pretty fast. It's pretty prompt in my book, and I like that. Now we get the story going. Now that they're like, okay, so Raven is part of a prophecy. They haven't figured out the whole demon's daughter thing, but now they figured out, okay, Raven is a big deal. Starfire's like, I may not know who I am, but Raven is a big deal. Raven is our mission. Dick Grayson also thinks the same way. He's on the same page. Now that they know that, they can go from there. Now that the show just has to figure out how to bring Beast Boy into that whole equation, into that whole formula, and I hope they do that for episode 4. And I hope by episode 4, Hawk and Dove by episode 4 hopefully can also rejoin the team, and we'll see. I can't wait. Will they cast a guy to play Bruce Wayne? Maybe maybe to speak. We don't necessarily have to see the face. That'd be nice. Of course, that would make the news, because Bruce Wayne is such a big iconic role. And real quick, last wing before I let you go, I really like this series. I really do. There's something refreshing about. I think I haven't had this since The Punisher last year, because The Punisher, even though it doesn't really have a lot of curse words, but The Punisher last year on Netflix, it's extra violent, because Punisher actually kills. He would actually kill his victims. And in this one, in Titans, not only do they kill, but they curse like a storm. They said, a freaking hawk says, "What the fuck?" I love it. There's something real about it that they put these characters in our world. I even look up the places, Coolville, Ohio, because I've been to Ohio many times. I was like, I don't remember Coolville, Ohio, and I look it up. It's not fictional. It's an actual place. About 500 people in that small town. So yeah, there's something refreshing. There's something cool. There's something neat about putting these characters in our world. Not necessarily a fictional city like Gotham City, and that they talk just like us. And that's really cool. I can't wait to watch the episode 4 and the rest of this season. That's it. That's my review of episode 3, titled Origins. Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and share this video with all your friends on the YouTubeverse. And as always, subscribe to my channel and ring the bell. And if you can help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, let's rock this.